I'm like, if you don't know by now, you're not gonna.
Greater than?
Yeah, it's good for a lot of things, actually. Yeah, because I don't want to, take something Friday. Okay, are we back? We're back. I think we're back. Nope, we're not back. Natalie's not here. Tracy and yours were getting separated from the herd. So I just, we're missing a couple of people. Sorry. I know. Damn. Which is over. Okay. Motivation. Well, clearly we're lucky. Yeah. What by the end?
You're hot and cold already?
Damn. Okay. They're like outside. Are they just outside? We're missing you. That's right. Okay, welcome Team 6.
Team 6. All right, guys, thank you. I'm Rafiq. This is Helen. We're representing Team 6 today, and we're going to talk about motivation. And we're going to use the film Good Will Hunting to discuss motivation with you. Now, in the movie Good Will Hunting, Will Hunting, who's played by Matt Damon, kind of an interesting depiction of Matt Damon. Matt Damon is a construction worker in the south of Boston, but he's also a math genius. And he's got several opportunities that he can explore outside of Boston. However, he's kind of reluctant to explore them. Now he's got a best friend and a therapist who are trying to use different motivational factors to get him to reevaluate his life and explore these opportunities. Helen is going to go through a few clips with you and show you what factors work and what factors don't work. And then I'll come back in a few minutes and discuss a couple of key takeaways we have from the presentation. Helen.
Thank you, Ashley. So, well, Will is not very motivated right now, as you can see. The first clip we're going to show you is about hygiene factors, such as status, security, and salaries.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, they gonna hook you up with a job or what? Yeah, fucking sit in a room and do long division for the next 50 years. Probably make some nice bank though. You can get a fucking lab right. Better than this shit.
So, as you can see here, Will is not very motivated to reevaluate his life at all based on the hygiene factor. So, let's move on to the motivating factor. The first one, recognition and advancement. So, later on in the same scene, we'll see that Will's friends trying to encourage Will by describing to him that if you want to be recognized by us, you better take the opportunity and advance, because these opportunities are not available to his friends.
I want to way out of here for. I mean, I'm gonna fucking live here the rest of my life. You know, be neighbors. You know, we'll have little kids. Fucking take them to Little League together up before they fail. Look, you're my best friend, so don't take this the wrong way. In 20 years, if you're still living here, coming over to my house to watch the Patriots game, still working construction, I'll fucking kill you. That's not a threat, that's a fact. I'll fucking kill you. Fuck you talking about? But you got something none of us. Oh, come on. Why is it always this? I mean, I fucking owe it to myself to do this and that. What if I want to? No. Fuck you. You don't owe it to yourself. You owe it to me.
Just for the record, Team 6 does not condone possibly killing your friend for motivational techniques.
Okay, so the next point is accountability and responsibility. In the next clip, you're going to see Will's therapist, how he grants Will the freedom to discover and take responsibility for his own action and thought.
You think I know the first thing about how hard your life has been, how you feel, who you are, because I read all of the twist. Does that encapsulate you? Personally, I don't give a shit about all that, because you know what? I can't learn anything from you. I can't read in some fucking book. Unless you want to talk about you, who you are. And I'm fascinated. I'm in. But you don't want to do that, do you, suppose? You're terrified of what you might say. Remove, Chief.
So it's interesting to see that how he's no longer defensive on his position here. So the next topic is growth and learning. In the next scene, you will see the therapist push Will to accept that he should not limit himself to learn and to growth because of his childhood difficulties.
Talk about it. You will? I don't know about it. You see this? It's not your fault. Look at me, son. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I know. No. It's not your fault. I know. It's not your fault. All right? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't fuck you. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me, all right? Don't fuck with me. Sure, not you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
So up to this point, we see that Will has been motivated by recognition, responsibilities, growth, and learning. So in the final clip we're going to show you, you're going to see how Will is motivated by achievement, where he decided finally to leave Boston.
Sean, if the professor calls about that job, just tell him, sorry. I had to go see about a girl. Well,
Son of a bitch. Stole my life.
So that's all for the clips. I will pass it back to Rafik now to talk about the key takeaways. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, it's not your fault. Helen, it's not your fault. All right, so as we see, Will's best friend and therapist is successfully motivated to leave Boston. We want to take a couple seconds to talk about a few takeaways that we have from the movie that we want to hope that you'll take out of it. The first one is that motivational factors we've learned are not only applicable in a corporate organization, but also in your personal lives and in a social setting. As you can see here, Will's best friend and therapist motivated him to pursue goals that weren't based in an organization, but actually in his life. And the second key takeaway, which we thought was very important, is that for the most part in class, we've studied leaders and motivators who fit a specific corporate mold. Think Donna Davinsky, Martha McCaskey, MBA students who went into organizations, and it's been interesting to study them, but what's interesting about this movie is that the motivators and leaders don't fit that corporate mold. Will's best friend is a blue-collar construction worker. His therapist, while an MIT grad, failed to live up to his standards and now teaches at a community college. So what we hope you'll see is that even though you've learned a lot of tactics and theories that will apply to your organizations, don't think that that's limited and you can't learn or be motivated by people outside your organizations or in different parts of life that you might not have expected. So that's our presentation on motivational theory, and we'd like to open it up to some questions.
Thoughts? We've seen 2 therapists today.
I guess I have a question. I guess
guess the therapist seemed like he was leading in a very different manner than we usually see. He wasn't a very forceful figure. He was very soft-spoken. I guess, do you think that's more of an aspect of his character or an aspect of Will Hunting's character as he was trying to lead him through the process?
I think it was an aspect of Will Hunting's character. I mean, obviously in the movie, therapists are generally not very abrasive. But in this movie, it was very important for him to get through to Will, not using the general tactics that most people would use. In the first scene, we saw Ben Affleck saying, "Oh, go for it. You'll make money. You'll do this. You'll do that," using hygiene factors. What Will's therapist tried to do was kind of help him learn and take responsibility for who he was, but not be too abrasive on it. He wanted him to realize it slowly, so that he could come to the realization and motivate him by himself.
I mean, I see two things in the two therapists were, I mean, they're relentless, right? And I would say leaders have that in common, and their resilience, right? Both were able to be aggressed upon, let's say. I mean, the scene where the therapist is talking outside, he had just said some horrible things, right? And obviously in King's Speech, right? I mean, that sometimes people aren't very nice when you're trying to change them, right? And a leader has to be resilient. I mean, I think that's, of those two, that's what I saw, is, relentlessness, right? How many times is not your fault?
Yeah.
Dear God, talk about repeating language, but okay, right? And resilient. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say that earlier in the movie, Will actually went to different therapists as well, and because they didn't work, that's why he ended up with this one, and this was the one who were able to motivate him.
Other thoughts or questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.